On this week's show, we've got Rocket League tips and tricks, gaming news headlines, a review of Microsoft's new flight simulator, and so much more. Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new episode of State Champs Esports, brought to you by our friends at Lawrence Tech, Army Michigan, and Hungry Howie's. With the return of our Rocket League tournament right around the corner, we're bringing back our tips and tricks segment featuring our resident expert, Kevin.
What's going on, everybody? My name is Kevin, and today I'm going to give you some tips and tricks in Rocket League. Today's tip is one I see so often and myself is guilty of doing this. I'm talking about ball chasing. When and when not to. Obviously, if you are the closest one to the ball, go for it. You don't want to end up where all three of you are going for it, leaving your net wide open. If the ball is being worked along the sides, it's not a bad idea to have a second person lag behind, because if that first person gets blocked, that second teammate can come swooping in, continuing to move the ball down the field. And if you do find yourself ball chasing, just simply break off and go the opposite direction. You might get lucky if the ball strikes your way and have a golden opportunity at a goal. So get to practicing your game for the upcoming high school Rocket League tournament today. We'll have more details on that soon, so hit that like, follow, or subscribe button to stay up to date.
All right, thanks Kevin. Now it's time for some esports and gaming news. Up first is the legal battle brewing between Epic Games and the tech giants Apple and Google. The Fortnite makers are suing both companies for removing the game from their stores after a pricing dispute. This move impacts more than the preteen Battle Royale favorite, since many games use the Epic Games Unreal Engine. It will be interesting to see how this one plays out. If you've seen any of our other shows, you've probably noticed that some of us here at State Champs are obsessed with retro gaming. And this week, Netflix is jumping on that bandwagon with an all-new 6-part series called High Score. This show spotlights the people behind the scenes of many of the early classic games.
Deathmatch and online gameplay changed everything.
Oh, what? Ah!
Players could connect over a network and interact,
Look at the death!
immersing themselves in a new world,
Boom!
but with each other.
For the first time, you can play in a high-speed 3D world where you're blowing your friends apart.
This week also brings the release of several new games, including PGA Tour 2K21. Also available is Samurai Jack Battle Through Time, which is based on the incredible animated series. And finally, there's the rhythm-based combat title, No Straight Roads.
Big Junction, that's who we are. And we're here to stop NSR from controlling everything.
There's only one music in demand right now, and that is EDM.
The people of Final City deserve to know what rock is about. It's time we fight EDM with the power of rock. The music revolution starts right now.
A recent release that has been getting rave reviews is Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. Let's head over to Chuck's house and get an in-depth look.
Chuck back with you for another game review, and this week we're taking to the sky with a look at the 2020 version of Microsoft Flight Simulator that was just released on August 18th for PC and will be coming to the Xbox Series X. First things first, this game is massive, coming in at a whopping 120 gig download, but you can see why. The game uses Bing Maps as an overlay, so what you're seeing are real satellite images to give the height and terrain for the textures as you fly over. It also uses the internet to give real-time weather and time so you can try and fly through the storm that's happening outside right now. Now, I wouldn't recommend jumping right into your first flight once it downloads. Definitely go through the tutorials to get used to flying. This is a very realistic game, and it's even been used in the past as a training guide for actual pilots. Now, I still have some issues getting in the right position to land, so I just try and enjoy the flight and the scenery as much as I can. So for this flight, I set a course taking off from Selfridge Air Base in Mount Clemens, set a waypoint for Detroit, and I was supposed to land at Detroit Metro Airport. Spoiler alert, I didn't stick the landing. I decided to take the CJ4 jet out, and starting off from Selfridge, since it's right by Lake St. Clair, you have a beautiful view of the water as we make our ascent. Once I get up to cruising altitude, I drop down just a little bit to get that nice shot of downtown Detroit before Little Caesars Arena was built. As always, have fun, good luck, and fly safe.
All right, thank you, Chuck. That looks amazing. Now, our final segment, let's check in with our esports assistant manager, Joel Graves.
Hey Joel, thank you so much for joining us on the show. Let's jump in and talk about how the LTU Esports organization is doing over on the university's campus.
Yeah, so it's very interesting how esports has played a role at LTU. It's definitely evolved over the course of the years that it's been a thing at LTU. It's really started when I was a freshman here back in 2017, and it's really evolved to something that involves a lot of the campus. And we have our own Discord server, and there's over 100 people in this Discord server. So over the last few semesters and years, we've really pushed to incorporate all of LTU's gaming community, and not even people who are interested in games, but those people who play casually, those people who want to play competitively, all into one place. So LTU Esports is definitely involved, and it's going to continue to evolve. Even now with the whole coronavirus situation, we're still trying to keep all of our members active.
And so will you guys be featured in the org fair that's going on at Welcome Week?
Yes, we will. I actually had a meeting with a few of my eBoard members this past week, and we're going to be there Tuesday. So if anyone's watching this, come by, say hello. I'll be there. I think Zach will also be there, so you can get some information. We'll have some flyers to pass out and how you can join our Discord server and just come hang out.
Okay, cool. Well, I hope that you guys get some new recruits. I know that things are a bit different this year with the pandemic and all. And then that brings me to my next question is, I know that our varsity esports team was set to start this year, but has been pushed back. Are you able to tell me a little bit of information about that on the collegiate side of the esports scene that's going to come soon to LTU, but just has a bit of a delay?
Yeah, so there's no confirmed information. The university is taking, they're really focused on the health and well-being of everyone at the university. So esports isn't quite a top priority. So I want to, as the club president for LTU Esports, I want to keep the gaming community, the esports community active at LTU. So when we do officially launch our varsity esports program, we already have the interest, we already have the people interested, and it's just so much smoother as a transition for people who want to play at the collegiate level. So I'm hoping for maybe possibly instead of this fall, maybe next fall, but a lot of the coronavirus stuff has blown over, and it's a lot better. So I'm very hopeful. I'll still be around next fall. I still got a few more years before I graduate, so I'll still be around then, and I still can't wait for even now with, like I said, the club stuff building up. It's still going to be so much better when we do have this official varsity program.
All right, well, it sounds super exciting. Thank you so much for the brief update on how the LTU esports gaming scene is staying alive during all of this. Is there anything else that you would like to add for any incoming students or current students trying to get into LTU esports?
Well, if you ever see any of us on campus, I know I'm usually the big face of it, but it's a lot more people who are involved in esports than you might think. A lot of them coincide and are part of the other student organization, Infinite Machine. So there's a lot of back and forth between these two student organizations. So a lot of the game design and game art and game development students also participate in our esports program. And something uniquely we do is we still connect with our alumni. So some of our recent grads from this last spring or grads from previous years still hang out and still talk to us and play games with us whenever they have free time. So it's really fun to still see that after people have graduated from LTU that they're still interacting with the student life.
And sadly, it's time for us to wrap up the show, but don't worry because we'll be back with a brand new episode next week. Before we go, let's thank Lawrence Tech, Army Michigan, and Hungry Howie's for helping us bring the State Champs Esports Show to you. On behalf of everyone here, we thank you for watching.